In this video, we are going to be going over the most annoying or irritating bugs that you guys have mentioned to me in a post comments in RuneScape. We are going to be talking about them and shedding some light on them, and you never know, maybe one day some of these will get fixed. I don't think this video alone will be enough to drag those to attention, but hey, highlighting some of the bugs and giving some more information on it is still something that's worth doing, and also it's an interesting topic in my opinion. If you enjoy the video, make sure to leave a like, subscribe to the channel. If you are new, this video was done in a form of a question on my community section. All of the bugs reported here were from you guys in comments, and there was quite a lot. So for any that I can replicate, I am going to go ahead and show you those on screen while we talk about it. For any that can't be replicated but I know are actually a thing, then I will put them on screen and we'll talk about it with some PVM background footage or something like that. I am not going to mention any bugs that could fall under bug abuse, as I definitely don't want to be mentioning those and spreading that information around. But other than that, let's go. Alrighty, so our first comment says, number 1, I've had some of my smoke-like particles disappear for a couple of weeks. Ambassador smokes, Zug flames, Zamorak mage projectiles, etc. So this one, I think I actually know the answer to this for a lot of people, but it does also happen even in some situations too. The second one says, I don't know if it's a bug or a feature at this point, but the Arc Glacier hitbox. So the Arc Glacier hitbox is a pain in the ass. It really is. And I don't know if that's going to get fixed. Has it been fixed since this 1 month ago? I don't think it has. I'm almost certain it hasn't. But as for the smoke like particles and stuff, these sometimes do just disappear in like the ambassador and stuff. I think specific things can trigger the ambassador beams to just disappear. And also just before they vanish, they actually vanish like 2 seconds before the actual beam and effect does. So the animation disappears about 2 seconds before the actual beams have disappeared. So even if you wait until the beams have disappeared and then stand where they were, you'll still take damage for a couple of seconds more, which is a pain in the ass. It's killed me plenty, but it is what it is, I guess. There's not much you can do about it. One thing you can do though, if you are not seeing these at all, like if you're literally not seeing the smokes at all, if you're not seeing the Zug flames, if you're not seeing the Zamorak magic hits, like not even at all, then check with your settings that your lighting detail is turned up. If you turn your lighting detail down, you will lose some of these effects. This is something I noticed recently, seeing as there's that weird haze at Wars Retreat and in the Lumbridge Swamp for some people. These can be really annoying, but if you do turn your lighting effects down or off completely, or low, I think is the lowest you can go, then it does disappear and it fixes the problem. But if you do this, then you also lose out on the effects that are included in lighting, being the ambassador smokes, being the Zamorak magic hits, and the Zug flames. So check this if you are seeing this bug and see if that helps out. You may see the mist and stuff in ED3, you may see the fog at wars. Hopefully this sort of stuff does get fixed soon, but having your lighting on low will affect some of those sort of boss mechanic effects and stuff from being visible. So check that one out. The next comment from Shroudy says, Carapat lightning has to be a bug. Then he says, on a serious note though, occasionally have it where my keybinds stop working unless I relog. And every now and again, when I open my bank, it keeps force closing itself like I'm being put in combat. Presumably from poison ticks damaging enemies where I was prior, not entirely sure. So you are right on the bank being closed and stuff. That could be from poison ticks. It could also be if you're in a group and you are with someone who's maybe still in combat, it'll take you out of the bank when they get hit as well, which is a little bit of a pain. But like in elite dungeons, for example, if you're trying to use the teleport from the chest, or you're just trying to use the bank, if your person that you're with or anyone in your group gets hit, it's going to drag you out of combat then too. Also, yes, if you leave poison ticks or bleeds or anything like that on something, it will also do the exact same thing. However, for the keybinds that stop working unless you relog, this is a very common bug, and actually it is the Grand Exchange from as far as I know. Sometimes when you use the Grand Exchange, for some reason, it doesn't unselect the actual text box, I think is what it is. If you go into that, you don't actually need to relog. Just go to the Grand Exchange, open it up, search anything and then close it, and it should fix your things. Sometimes as well, for anyone else who's maybe thinking this doesn't work, if this is a long shot, but if you use Photoshop, this will also stop doing that. So whenever I have my Photoshop open, it basically takes like control over like majority or whatever over my keybinds for a lot of them, and some of them will still work, most of them won't. But usually for most people, this is going to be the Grand Exchange if your keybinds randomly stop working. You don't have to relog, just head to the Grand Exchange, open that up, and just search anything and then close it off, and it will be fixed in most situations. If that doesn't work, then yes, relogging usually does work, but for most of the time, it's the Grand Exchange. I don't know why it does it. It is weird, but there you go. Hopefully that helps. This next one isn't really a bug, or I guess maybe it is. I don't really know. I wouldn't say it's a bug, but it is a bit of an issue and it is a pain in the ass. And I know a lot of people do get frustrated from this. And this is the runes and the hitbox in phase 7 of Zamorak. Now this person says hitboxes are either too small or way too big, and then they say runes in phase 7 Zami. So overall, there's a lot of hitboxes around the game that are either way too small. For example, ladders, you will be able to click between the gaps on the ladders, and you have to specifically click on the actual like steps on it to get up the freaking ladder sometimes. And then also other places they are way too big. For example, the runes in phase 7 of Zamorak. Now, well, the runes in phase 7 of Zamorak, freaking stressful as hell, and it's part of the reason that stressed me out one night while I was doing that, and I haven't kind of gone back since then, because the B rune, which is next to Zamorak when you actually are trying to kill him, is freaking huge. That click box is ridiculously big, and the amount of times people are clicking on this thing rather than on Zamorak, and then basically, like, if you use Omnipower on that, or if you use Tendrils on that, or something, anything on that at the wrong time, the kill's pretty much done. Like, you can't make a mistake in phase 7 Zami. If you do, you're gonna have to be really on it and lucky or something to pull that off and save it. But if you needed to build the boss, for example, to be able to reduce some damage or anything like that, and you use it on the rune instead, and that sucks. That sucks big time. It is not fun whatsoever. So hopefully the click boxes do get fixed in phase 7 of Zamorak, but there's a lot of click boxes around the whole of RuneScape really that need some looking. Obviously the Arc Glacial click box got mentioned before. It is what it is, I suppose. But yes, there are quite a lot of click boxes around RuneScape that could use a little bit of looking at. The next comment says, getting kicked out of the game entirely 2 or 3 times before successfully entering a clan citadel. This is very true. This happens a lot. It is a little bit of a pain in the ass, and I don't know why it does it, but it has done this for a while, and to be honest, I don't think this is going to get fixed for a long time, because the clans and stuff, the whole clan system, the citadel, anything to do with clans seem to have been completely forgotten about and thrown to the side for now, for the time being. But in all honesty, it would be nice to get this fixed. The amount of people that say every single week when they try to go cap, what the frick, I get crashed, I get kicked every single time I do this. It's a real pain in the ass. It's weird, once you relog, it seems to work, at least most of the time. But the first time you go, you can almost guarantee that you're going to get kicked. At least I can. I don't know if it's something to do with maybe a specific GPU, maybe a specific CPU, or a specific type, that sort of stuff. I have no idea, but it happens. It's annoying as hell, because every time I think, hey, you know what, I'm actually going to go to the Citadel and cap for once in my life, which I should probably do way more than I do, you got to think, but then my client's going to crash, and I kind of can't bother with that, and it just gives you an excuse not to go. But at the same time, it is frustrating, it is annoying, so hopefully one day this gets fixed as well. But hopefully one day clans just get a rework and an update and a bit of a refresh. The clans, I think, are really important in RuneScape. I think they'd be a really good thing to look at and rework, but I guess we'll see what happens one day. What do you guys think? Do clans need more love? Do you think they're important? Do you think they don't really matter at this point? Or what do you guys reckon? Let me know. Alright, so the next comment says, target cycle not working and missing the opportunity to bleed assault. Now, target cycle used to have this bug. This has actually been fixed in this situation, unless you're talking about it just targeting the wrong thing or something like that. But target cycle used to have this thing where if you were stood on one tile and you used the target cycle ability, and then there was nothing there to like cycle to, say for example you pressed it before the boss was targetable, you would then have to move to a different tile in the game to be able to actually target cycle through something else. So it was a bit of a pain and it wouldn't work. However, they have fixed this now, and as you can see, I can show you guys at Kerapack that I'm spamming the keybind right now. Obviously you can't see that I'm spamming it, but I am doing, which means I'm using it before the boss is targetable, and I'm not changing tile, but then you'll see it does actually still target Kerapack. So this one has been fixed, which is absolutely awesome. Like I said, this video was the post was put up quite a while ago, so this one has absolutely been fixed, which of course is a great thing. But I thought I'd include this anyway, because I know a lot of people used to get frustrated at this, and I'm pretty sure that some people will probably still think this is the case, but it has been fixed. There you go. The next comment from Crackster King says, Raksha in phase 4, trying to rapid fire and collect the purple things, which is the anima, and you try and you get locked behind a wall. So the way this works, and it is a bug and it is annoying and it is rather frustrating. I think this also happens at some places like the Outglacier as well, but overall Raksha is the easiest way to explain this. In Raksha you have the pillars around the room, which is like makes up the stairs that go up towards Raksha, right? You gotta stand on the stairs to make sure you get a tail swipe, all that sort of stuff. But if you're ranging and you use rapid fire while you have fleeting boots, it does allow you to move, right? However, if you use rapid fire and then cross the path of one of those pillars, it will just stop your character. You literally just stand still. You do nothing else. Nothing's responsive. You have to then click to move away. You using another ability won't do anything. Rapid fire just stops. Your character's just like, no, lol, we're going to stand here and do nothing, which can get you killed sometimes because then you get the mage bomb, or it's just annoying. It really is. I don't know why it does this, but that's exactly what it is. If you walk and cross the pillars while you're using rapid fire, it's going to happen. It will do it every single time. It still does it. I don't know what it is. If there's game developers that know how RuneScape code works, then maybe you can let us know in the comments. But overall, just try and not use rapid fire when you're picking up the anima. It would be convenient if it didn't do this, of course, but yeah, if you cross that path, if you cross one of those pillars while you're using rapid fire, your character's just going to stop. So preferably if you are picking up anima, then just use things like snapshot, use things like, I don't know, dead shot before you go, bleeds, basics, get some adrenaline, and then when you get back, then throw out the rapid fire, I suppose. I don't know if this happens for anything else. I'm pretty sure it wouldn't. I think it would be a channeled ability while you're walking. It must be a line of sight thing. And of course with asphyxiate, you can't move while using that. And I think obviously melee, you wouldn't be able to do anything while walking past it. So I think it's just rapid fire, but yeah, it's a pain in the ass. Alright, so that brings us to the end of the bugs that you guys have mentioned. A lot of them will repeat things, and some of them were ones that I wouldn't be able to replicate in game or have a look at, or I'm not too sure if they're actual things or not. There definitely were a few more that I probably could have mentioned, but again, I'm not 100% sure if they're things, and I can't test it to see if they actually are, so I don't want to just mention them in the off chance that, oh, this is maybe a thing, guys, you know, if that makes sense. But other than that, hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. I hope you found it interesting. I definitely did. It's weird because I couldn't think of many of these off the top of my head, but going through all of these, like, I know all of the ones you mentioned in here, and I've ran into them, and they're things that they're a little bit frustrating, and hopefully one day they get sorted. I don't know how easy these things are to fix, but it seems like every Monday there's a new bug at least somewhere in the game. It seems like if you fix, like, I don't know, one thing at Raksha, you break something at like the Outglacier, or you fix something at the Outglacier and you break woodcutting. It's weird. Everything seems to be tied together in some strange way, but I guess it is what it is. There's plenty of other bugs still in game at the moment, some that I'm probably not aware of. If you guys do know any, then leave them down below. Preferably nothing that can be counted as bug abuse, please. Those comments will just be removed. But other than that, guys, I appreciate you all watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, make sure to leave a like, subscribe to the channel. If you are new around here, channel members, your names will be on screen right now. Thank you so much, all of you guys, for the extra support on the channel. You guys really do. You help out so much. It is appreciated so damn much, so thank you. But other than that, thank you all so much for watching. I appreciate that too, and I will catch you all in the next one. See you later, guys. Bye.